Aging part 2. As promised in the part 1, I'm making this video as part 2. In the part 1, we saw the theories of aging and the physiological aspect of aging process as to what changes occur in the organ systems and so on and so forth. So in the part 2, we will see whether this process can be decelerated or halted. And halted, prevented, decelerated, slowed down. So that's the goal of this particular video. I remember after the first video, I got a comment asking whether you really look, are you 53 age? Because I think in the first video I did mention my age. I'm 53. So it was with disbelief that the person was asking me this question. Well, why would I increase my age? No? I mean, if at all people like to hide their age and show a lesser number. So anyways, that's really my age. But the point is whether the aging process can be slowed down really, and what are the things that we can avoid or positively achieve and thereby slow the aging. That's the goal of this video. Let me start at the outset that in our channel we have started 2 new sections. One related to the graphs in the physiology and medicine, and second is a clinical case based MCQs. And apart from that, new features have been added like daily MCQ put up, and periodically we are also adding quiz contests, and there are grand prizes to win. So don't forget to subscribe. All right. Now, before we start with this academic content, let me just say some of the things that I mentioned here are from the research paper, and 1 or 2 things are my own postulates. So whenever there are my own postulates, I will explicitly mention it that way, that this is my hypothesis, this is my observation. But apart from that, most of the other material is from the research papers. With that in mind, let's start the discussion. Okay, aging is a natural process and it is an inevitable process. All right, so nothing can be done about it. Age, for example, is the number of years you have lived, chronological age, and nothing can be done about it. So that's the chronological age, but there is something called as physiological age also. Physiological age means it is the sum total of the age of each organ system put together. I mean, there are organ systems in our body, and there is wear and tear of those organs depending on the way we live our life. Okay, for example, some organs may be having inflammation, extra inflammation, alcohol or other such things. They are going to be burden on the organ systems. They may cause inflammation. So the thing is that some organ systems might be aging faster, some organ system may not be aging that fast, and your age, physiological age, is a sum total of all organ systems. Therefore, the aim can be to identify which organ systems have a greater wear and tear, and then act positively on that so that the overall aging process slows down. So let's see what all things can be done or avoided. Okay, there is process of aging. As we saw, it is an inevitable process. Aging will happen. But there are certain factors which accelerate the process of aging. And therefore, the goal will be that to stop those factors which accelerate the aging and incorporate the factors which can potentially slow down the process of aging. So it will be a 2-track on which we will be having this particular aim of slow down the aging process. Now let's see what all things can we achieve. We have 5 dimensions to our persona. our being, our personality has 5 dimensions: physical age, mental age, intellectual age, social age, and spiritual age. I will be focusing on the first 2 parts, physical and mental, because that's my domain, my forte as a physiologist. The other 3 are, I mean, you can, they are out of purview of physiology, so you can take them just as a general knowledge. Okay, so let's start. Physical well-being. Most of us generally are looking after the physical well-being only. I mean, we want to look younger. Of course, the aim should be to look younger, to feel younger from within, and generally to be young. So, look and feel younger will be based on primarily on the physical well-being. And the physical well-being has a tripod of diet, physical activity, and lifestyle modification. Let's have a look at those one by one. I was looking at the research papers which said that the poikilotherms, or the animals who are hibernating frequently, they live longer, and the basis was that they achieve a hypometabolic state because of the hibernating process, and also the temperature is lower, heat generation is less over a longer time, and therefore they live longer. So life lengthening effect has been shown in such animals. They have given the examples of Turkish hamster and others. So can we make such changes? The goal should be to reduce the overall metabolic rate and heat production in the body. That should be the goal, generally speaking. Let's see how we can achieve it. Let's start with the diet. Nowadays, the diet that is being advocated is caloric restriction, or intermittent fasting is nowadays very trendy. Is that useful? Well, yes, it is. I mean, if the calories are restricted, it has been shown that it will delay the immunologic aging. You know, beyond a certain age, there is immunologic aging. Either the immune system works on a hyperactive mode and becomes autoimmune type of diseases may develop, or it is hypoactive and therefore vulnerability to the diseases, other diseases, infections, etc. So the calorific restriction has been shown to reduce the delay the immunologic aging. It decreases the free radical generation. Obviously, I mean, more you take the calories, more you are burdening your mitochondria, and loss of mitochondrial function is an important aspect of aging. So do not burden your mitochondria with the caloric restriction, excessive with the caloric intake. Caloric intake more frequently, more number of calories, all this is going to be a burden on the mitochondria, and there's going to be loss of mitochondrial function, and all that can be prevented by the intermittent fasting and caloric restriction. So this is what the recent research papers are indicating. Age-associated biochemical, physiological, behavioral changes are shown, favorable changes by caloric restriction. So how does it work? It decreases the blood glucose as well as insulin. Look, it has been shown that we consume carbohydrates, glucose is going to be there, but many people are in a hyperinsulinemic state, maybe because of insulin resistance, but that needs to be avoided, and caloric restriction will avoid that particular state of hyperinsulinemia, and it will lower the body temperature. So this is one research paper, or this is one point put forth by many research papers. Restrict the calories, and I'll tell you how to restrict the calories, and consumption, the frequency also should be restricted. All right, the aim should be that suppose if you need, let's say, 2400 calories per day, eat only 2200 calories, so that that extra 200 which you are not taking will be mobilized from your fat depots. But do not restrict the calories too much, else otherwise the protein breakdown might start. That stage should not come. So it should be a fine balance of what calories, how many calories you are taking, in what form, and how you are restricting it over 24 hours. Okay, so overall restriction of the calories will help by also preventing the oxidative stress and on the mitochondrial burden, etc. Some important things that you can actually incorporate. First things first, calculate your daily caloric requirement. Okay, and also calculate the intake of your daily intake of calories. Calculate that. Take the help of let's say nutritionist for this, or it is easy to calculate, you can do it on your own. But anyways, first calculate that, and as I mentioned, if you require, let's say, 2400 calories per day, then intake should be 2200 or 2300. Okay, many people, they take much more than what is required. That's not good for health in the long run. So avoid taking too many calories. Avoid eating food too frequently. Okay, so pace it, or rather space it properly. Your caloric intake should be spaced up properly. So that's an important aspect. Monitor your weight, monitor the BMI, you know, BMI, weight upon height square, height in the meters, and target in the healthy range of the body mass index, let's say 22, 23, somewhere in that range, and fat component of your body. Generally speaking, there are machines that tell you also the fat component, fat percentage. Reduce the cholesterol content of your diet. It's a fluidity buffer for the cell membranes, but generally speaking, reduce the content of cholesterol. Many people advocate drink a glass of water before each meal. Now this is going to be controversial if I say this. So let me say, in a limited context, if you want to lose weight, if you want to reduce the obesity, this would be an idea to follow. Because all your enzymes in the intestines, they are watery enzymes, water soluble enzymes. So if you take a glass of water before the meal, some of the enzymes will be diluted and will be pushed forward, and therefore when you take the food, all the calories will not be made available to the body, and there will be caloric restriction automatically. Okay, so in a way, yes, it can be followed, especially if you are looking to weight reduction program. Okay, so I am saying this in a very narrow, limited context. Take a glass of water before each meal. How about taking water throughout the day? Yes, 8 to 10 glasses of water per day should be taken consciously, because every process in our body somewhere needs water, and it's a good idea for healthy functioning at the cellular level and at the organ system level. Okay, now one thing that you can easily incorporate from tomorrow or today, that is, don't eat till you achieve the complete sense of fullness. Stop short of that. You can do it, but you will have to be stronger in your mind. Look, we eat till we feel complete fullness. Satiety has come. Sometimes we say, my stomach is filled, but I'm still not satisfied. I want to eat more. Sometimes, you know, satiety has reached and still we keep on eating. Avoid all these things. Once in a while it's fine, you are partying or, you know, enjoying, that's okay. But by and large, if it is a weight loss regimen or otherwise also, don't go to the extent of a sense of complete fullness achieved. Stop short of that. If it is, let's say 3 rotis which give you complete sense of fullness, have 2.5. That's it. Just less, just short of that. Okay. This is going to be a good idea to reduce the overall caloric intake and overall formation of reactive oxygen species. We have done this in the part 1, that overall aging process, the most important incriminating factor is the production of reactive oxygen species, free radicals. So this regimen will help decrease that part. Okay, eat condensed proteins, take fiber in the diet. These all things are already known to you, so nothing new. But most of the research papers were unanimous on this part about endorphins. You can have certain diets which can increase the secretion of endorphins inside the body, particularly spices, condiments, and some of the Chinese foods also. Research papers were saying that Ajinomoto and other things which are there in the Chinese foods, they are known to release the endorphins. They are also good for your glutamate production, and they release endorphins. Many people say chocolates and sweets. Yes, there are data that backs it up, but chocolates, etc. are not healthy. You can't eat it regularly. But yes, these things, the spices, pulaus, biryanis, etc., they are can be taken regularly, the Chinese foods, because I mean, you must have experienced it yourself. When you eat very spicy foods, sometimes you have an altered sense of euphoria for a while, because it is known to produce the gut related peptides, I mean, which are similar to opioid peptides, and they are known to increase the endorphin secretion. Even from the POMC, pro-opiomelanocortin from the pituitary is known to increase by such foods. So and endorphins have been shown to have age retardation in the long run, so increase the youthfulness. All right, physical activity, exercise is also known to increase the endorphins. So exercise, yes, an important part. It could be a formal exercise, or it could be a physical activity which is throughout the day, dispersed throughout the day. I mean, for example, if you are taking elevator, don't take it, go by the staircase. Or you can walk instead of taking an auto rickshaw. So such things are good, and they will produce healthy levels of endorphins and slow down the process of aging in a long run. There is one theory which is my theory now. I have 2 theories which are my hypothesis. One is my slow-mo theory. It was called as Vivek sir's slow-mo theory, slow motion. Look, physiologically speaking, wear and tear of the organ systems is responsible for aging. So just have a slow tempo in your life. You know, rushing through the things and always in a hurry, it anyways produces lots of diseases like peptic ulcer and other things, and the stress, glucocorticoids released. Instead, have a very slow tempo. Everything from your speech, from your answering people, or from your activity, everything should be done in a slow tempo. You know, I remember when in initial few years of my life, for this slow-mo, what I would do is, I would imagine that I am acting in a movie which is being recorded in a slow motion. This will consciously make you slow down all your things, and wear and tear will slow down, and it's good for the health in a long run. Of course, initially people might just think that intellectually this person is little low IQ person because he talks slowly, acts slowly, etc. But then they will understand over a long run, your intellect is not low, it's just your slow tempo of physical performance. Okay, so do everything at a leisure pace, and there is a rate of living theory. More you are doing the things in a hurried manner, your living is getting exhausted. That's the rate of living theory. Okay, and therefore slowly, go slow. So that's my hypothesis. It also sets your neuroendocrine clock in a healthy manner. What should be the ideal time to get up? Yes, your circadian rhythm plays a very important part in your overall health and long-term well-being. So there are people who just on one day they will go to bed at 9 p.m. and get up at 6. The next day they are up till 1 or 2 a.m. and then will wake up by 9 a.m. So this is not good. Set your biological clock and strictly adhere to that. This is good for the long-term well-being and it will retard the process of aging. Those who have a very irregular lifestyle, they age early. So set the clock. The best time to get up is 6 because you know, our steroid spike is known to be between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. That's the highest spike of glucocorticoids. And you know, people get angry because of the steroid spike. You know, we might have seen many people, when they get up in the morning, they are in a very angry mood. That should be avoided. And how you can avoid it is that just get up before sunrise. I mean, when you get up and your eyes open, there should be darkness. And then later on, maybe in 5-10 minutes, the sunrise will happen. That's good. That will reduce the steroid spike. And it's good in the long run. Plus, I have seen this, and this is my observation. People with high intellect, they get up early in the morning. And they look younger, much younger. They age gracefully. So that's how it should be. Even evolutionary tendency, you know, humans, as we have evolved from the lower animals to the vertebrates to the mammals, and then the humans were living in cages and darkness was the normal for them, and then came the light. So even from the evolutionary point of view, getting up while there is dark, that's a very good idea for your overall well-being. All right. So diet may be the most important factor for DNA health. All right. One more hypothesis that I just wanted to mention as my hypothesis or my physiological basis of understanding. You can add cranberry in your diet, regular diet or regular consumption of food. Look, two things actually to be added, because aging is an outcome of these two processes. One, generation of free radicals, reactive oxygen species. So antioxidants will work well. Antioxidants in the form of vitamin C, vitamin E, they are good in the long run. They are antioxidants, so they can gobble up those reactive oxygen species. Vitamin D is also good. In fact, vitamin D is better as a nutrient supplement because vitamin D has got nuclear receptors, so it can alter the protein synthesis also. But in the long term, if you take it as a supplement, it's going to have its toxicity. So better concentrate on vitamin C and E. That's good. And the second theory for aging is glycation. You know, we eat carbohydrates from day one of our life almost. And glucose is there in our blood throughout our life, obviously. Now, glucose levels increase very often. Some of this glucose binds to the proteins. Proteins means structural proteins. And this is irreversible binding, and it is called as AGE. We did that in the previous video. Advanced glycation end products. These glycation reactions are harmful, and you need to prevent them and even reverse them. Is it possible? Yes. That is why I rate cranberry very highly, because cranberry has been found in many research. Like previously, cranberry was advised for as a diuretic or as a urinary antiseptic. But more recent research is saying that cranberry has the anti-aging effect. That is, anti-glycation activity. It can prevent that formation of glycation bonds, and it can even break those bonds, means reverse the glycation. So in the sense that it can be very good for overall youthfulness, and because the glycation will alter the protein structure, it will reduce the elasticity of the body in general, and therefore I rate the cranberry at a very high level. But this is my postulate, my hypothesis, take it or leave it. It has the research backing, of course. So all these things in the diet, then physical activity and lifestyle modification, that was the physical well-being or physical persona. Now coming to the mental dimension of the aging. Look, emotional quotient, EQ, has to be at a very healthy level, because you will see that there are people around you who are always in a very negative state of mind, emotionally in a very turbulent state of mind, and you will see that they age faster. They already look older. So what you should avoid is the negative emotions. No negative emotions whatsoever. That should be the motto of your life. Okay. My people, I mean, I'm working in Diva Patil Medical College for last 30 years. My students will vouch for this, that they have never seen me in any negative emotions. Jealousy, hatred, dislike, anger, etc. All these, envy and all that. This will age you faster. This will be the age accelerator, these emotions. Avoid them. Now, this is better said than done, because human beings, so all these emotions will come naturally. But no, there are things which you can do to avoid these things, like reduce your egoistic personality and reduce your bloated sense of self-awareness. Most of us rather, are always self-aware that I have come, I was insulted, etc., etc. So this is a sense of bloated sense of ego and self-awareness. You can reduce that. Daily you can get up and tell yourself, I am a nobody, so that your feet will be firmly on the ground. You can tell yourself that I am a nobody, I have to reach heights in life, and therefore I have to work towards that goal. This will keep you fit and healthy and focused, and it will avoid the negative emotions. Somebody says something to you and you feel angry, insulted. Oh, I was insulted. Okay, fine. You can reply if required, but otherwise take that in your stride and move ahead towards your goal. That will keep you fit and healthy. All right. So mind center is the limbic system, hypothalamus, and all these emotions, I told you, negative emotions will make you old very fast. Avoid them. Keep the positive mindset always. Let the people say that this person always exudes positive emotions, positive energy, positive vibes. That will be a good idea. Happiness, and that will retard your age. That will be the mantra for age retardation. Now these two were physiological aspects, the physical well-being and the mental well-being. Remaining you can just take as general knowledge, that is intellectual dimension. Yes, you can connect with people who match your intellect. There can be give and take of thoughts, and this way you will keep yourself healthy. If you are surrounded by people who don't understand what you are saying, this will make your emotions more turbulent and will age you faster. So connect, but hold on. I am not for a moment suggesting that you start rating people intellectually. No, don't do that. Don't ever. That's not my suggestion at all. But yes, you can judge that somebody with whom you can connect easily because of the intellect. What you say, the person understands. What he or she says, you understand. That's good enough. That will keep you youthful and healthy. Feed something to your intellect on a daily basis as an agenda that you're going to feed your intellect. Okay, I mean, we feed our hunger, we feed our other senses. Feed your intellect. So it could be reading, it could be such activities, reading newspaper, reading books, etc. But stay intellectually at a healthy level. That's another important aspect. It will retard it will retard the aging, therapy for aging as they call it. So exchange the ideas on a daily basis. Finally, social dimension and spiritual dimension. Look, what can we say about the social dimension these days? Two people who can talk to each other face to face, they both are on phones, and actually they might be talking to them between them, but via phones. So this is happening. Try to keep a societal connect. That will also be an important dimension of your life and process of aging. And finally, spiritual dimension, make your inner strength stronger so that it will build you strong to take the challenges and stresses of life on a daily basis. Keep your calm, and as I said, act in a slow-mo manner, in a slow tempo. Avoid the anger, avoid the bloated sense of self-belief, and then when you incorporate all these things, you will observe that the aging slows down. See, it's not a process of one day or 1 month. It is a long-term process. Okay, it's a cumulative process, and therefore if you start from today, yes, these small alterations are likely to slow down your process of aging and will make you feel youthful and look younger.